Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Godzilla Minus One first reviews are here. This is my most anticipated movie of this year, although don't know if it's getting a release in the UK this year. But look, we'll say it's, my most anticipated film of this year, just because it's releasing in 2 markets this year. The first reviews call it a masterpiece. Now, important to note, obviously, look, hey, would there be a slight bias? Yeah, maybe. Do lots of people review things positively? Yeah, of course they do. I don't know, whether I'm going to believe all of this yet or not. But I will say, given the trailers, the TV spots, all of this kind of stuff, I think this looks amazing. I genuinely am so very excited for this movie. I think it looks absolutely incredible. So, yeah, I can believe a lot of this, I think. But, proceed with skepticism, I guess, if you're that way inclined. But let's take a look, ladies and gents. So, again, this is kind of, they've just sort of started popping up online, these kind of reactions, these discussion pieces. It had its premiere in Japan before its official presentation at the Tokyo International Film Festival. So it had its premiere and then Tokyo International Film Festival. It was there, and that's where these reviews are coming from. So the first reviews have basically started coming online, showing a heavy amount of excitement. And what I would say is a good blend, actually. So here we have one. I was shown a preview of Godzilla Minus One, and it was incredibly interesting. A strong anti-war movie, it should be. That is the whole point of Godzilla to a degree. However, at the same time, there were many scenes that made me think I wanted to see this kind of battle. So I couldn't help but get excited. I've seen every Godzilla movie, but this one is now my favourite. It will make you cry and touch your heart in many ways. It is a masterpiece. Now, I like that. I like the fact that the reviewer acknowledges it is an anti-war movie, and yet the duality of that, the sort of excitement and the way the movie goes, it makes you want to see those types of battles as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I guess that's, I guess a Western representation of that to a degree would be any of the John Wick movies. No one wants to see, that kind of bloodshed's awful, right? But when you've constructed such a great action sequence, it's so awe-inspiring, you can't help but be impressed. I guess that's a good representation of that in some regards. So we had this one. Tonight I was invited to a screening of Godzilla Minus One. It was so awesome and heavy that I can't put it into words. There was so much sadness that I needed to say it aloud. Even though it was the complete opposite of Shin Godzilla, I felt the same excitement. Godzilla is alive. In the complete opposite of... How is it the complete opposite of Shin Godzilla? Interesting. Really interesting. So we had this one. I watched Godzilla Minus One. Honestly, it was impressive. This is the most beautiful Godzilla movie in Godzilla's history. And I believe it is director Takashi Yamazaki's masterpiece. I immediately told an old friend of mine who is an advertising producer, and that's the first time I've ever done that. I cried like never before. There's a very heavy, heartfelt element from these reviews. I watched Godzilla Minus One at its final cut preview. Wow. It is amazing. It's dangerous. It's crazy. That's all I can say about it right now, but you should definitely watch. All right then. I'm going to say this is fascinating stuff. I don't know. Look, everything I've seen for this looks incredible. Everything I've heard about it sounds incredible. Yeah, masterpiece, crying. I think this, in terms of these reviews and the sort of blend of emotion, war, Godzilla being what he is, giant sort of kaiju having that sort of element, it seems to me like Toho has really struck gold here. Yeah, I mean, anti-war movie. It should be. That is what it. That's absolutely fine. Saying it's going to make you cry and touch your heart. Now, I don't know whether that goes some ways to saying, well, I don't know, adding more fuel to the rumor that there's 2 kaiju, one gets killed, Godzilla won't forgive the humans, etc., etc. They sort of get innocently caught in the crossfire, that sort of thing. Maybe, especially Godzilla -1 being a dual terminology there. Godzilla -1 other, -1 Japan. Clock gets set right the way back. Maybe. But yeah, saying the complete opposite of Shin Godzilla. Now, maybe that's to do with the bureaucratic element. Less bureaucracy, political, sort of politicizing the monster and the sort of bureaucracy between trying to, band together to, I guess, destroy it, really. I don't know. I'm trying to work out what they mean by that. The complete opposite of Shin Godzilla. But interesting stuff. Very, 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 very excited to hear this. I think it's very clear to see from like any of the imagery. This is, to me, one of the best looking Godzillas. I would rate this look of Godzilla above the MonsterVerse's Godzilla at this time. Absolutely, unequivocally, 100%. I think from a looks perspective, they've nailed it. Yeah, he's a bit small. Apparently, he's only about 50 meters tall or something like that, I think. It's not very tall at all. But the destruction, the animation, the CG is truly exceptional. Very, very excited for this. Need to double check whether they are releasing it in the UK, because what we'd seen from the last trailer is that they're releasing it in IMAX, 4DX, everything. So hopefully this will come to us in the UK and it will be available on all of those types of screens, because I can't wait for this. Absolutely cannot wait. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Drop them down there. Give the video a like and please do share it. My closing thoughts on this. Remember how good this looks. It is written, directed, and the VFX are apparently all by the same person, Takashi Yamazaki. So pretty incredible stuff, actually. Anyway, cheers guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.